everybody, this is my first video blog, and I'm a little nervous about it. Don't exactly know where I'm going with this vlog in the long term, but today I just want to kind of share with you why I feel like I should be doing this and why it's been placed on my heart to share everything that I plan on sharing with you in the future. So, a couple months ago, I was sitting in chapel, and this speaker was speaking about having God-sized dreams and how everyone will have that one dream in their lifetime that is just huge, and that they just pursue it relentlessly and they won't stop, and maybe somebody else has never done it before and they're nervous about it and they're scared. And he said everyone has that dream. And I'm sitting there thinking, in the very back row, I remember it like it was yesterday, I don't have one of those dreams. I mean, I know God has called me to do what I'm supposed to do, and I know that that's where I'm going, and I'm doing the measures needed to pursue that, but I never really considered it a God-sized dream because it seemed tangible, it seemed easy. So then, I kind of brushed it off, kept listening for a few minutes, and I then heard God say, "You need to do a video blog." I was thinking, what? That's kind of a random thought to just pop into your head, so maybe it's God, maybe it's me, I don't know. So I just kind of brushed it off again, sat for a few more minutes, and I heard it again. And I was like, are you serious? Like, no. I mean, I journal, and I write for myself, and that's enough for me, and I don't need to get my thoughts out in another way. Like, I don't need to do it that way, I'm fine. And he said, you need to do this for a purpose. I'm thinking, I don't have a purpose to do that for. Like, what am I going to say to all these people? It doesn't matter. Nothing I have to say will matter to anybody. And then God told me that I need to remind people, that you can be redeemed and that you can be forgiven. Found this shirt was fitting. I got it for Christmas today. It says, not perfect, just forgiven. And that kind of hit me hard when I got the present. I was like, wow, that's really accurate for what I'm feeling, because God was saying, Maddie, if I can forgive you, a person who has screwed up numerous times, who has done everything the wrong way, who else can I forgive? That God has been there for me no matter what, and that even when I completely turned my back on him and ran the opposite way, he never turned away from me, and he was there waiting on me when I finally inevitably ran back to him. And that no matter how many times I've mistaken him as someone else, or I've done the wrong thing, he was still there, and he didn't care, and he loved me relentlessly, unconditionally, all the time, forever, no matter what. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, but don't people normally already know that? Or isn't that kind of a cliche thing to tell people? I mean, that's a commonly spoken thing in many sermons and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, there's no way that that's going to be a big deal. So I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, okay, maybe. I'll think about it. I'll be praying about it. So I texted my best friend, and I was like, hey, I just want you to be praying about this. God, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing a video blog, but not totally sure about it. So if you just want to be praying about it with me, that'd be great. Of course, she was like, yeah, totally. I'll definitely be praying. I think that's a great idea. That'd be a great outlet for you. You would be fantastic at that. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm finishing up, sitting in chapel by two complete strangers, mind you, in the very back row. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. I'm okay. I just won't think about it much. I'll, if it comes back later on, I'll reconsider it. And I walked out of chapel, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and all of these ideas come to my head. And I'm thinking, like if you're a musician and you get lyrics randomly popping into your head, and you have to like write them all down. That's what was happening with all of these ideas that God wanted me to do with this video blog. And so I like ran back to my room really quickly, and I was writing all this stuff down, and he's telling me these big God-sized dreams that he has for this video blog that I still have doubts about sometimes, that I still don't think are plausible that can actually happen to me, a lonely life Cleveland girl. Like, that's just not something that's common for someone like me. I was thinking, there's no way that's going to happen. So I've been praying about it, and I continued. I listened to him after that, and I was like, okay, I'll keep praying about it and decide when I want to do it and how I want to do it and everything. And he was telling me a couple things, and I'm thinking, I can't do that on my own. One, I'm really bad at technology. Two, that's just a lot of things that I would have to do on my own part. And he was telling me, well, you need a team. I'm like, okay, what? Like, why would I need a team? And so right at that moment, two names popped in my head, two of my best friends. You'll meet them later on in some other segments. But he was telling me these two people need to be on your team because they're God-fearing women that are going to back you up, and they're going to be prayer warriors with you, with what you're going through, and with everyone else with what they're going through, and that they could really make this thing wonderful, and that they are going to pursue it just as much as you are. And one of them was my best friend that I'd already said to pray about, and I was like, okay, well, duh, that would be my first choice. Then the next one was someone I wasn't totally that close with. She's a friend of mine, but not a close acquaintance, and when I heard her name, I was like, that's really random. I don't even know her testimony. I've never heard anything about her, anything that she's gone through, and God was saying, you need her. You need her. Go talk to her now. I was like, okay, I get it. I'll go talk to them. So I talked to both of these ladies, and they both were like, we had just been talking about how young girls need to hear about themselves being redeemed, and how that they can't screw up enough to make God not love them. And I'm thinking, okay, like, I get it. Wow, this is all falling into place. And from there on, God just kept on giving me ideas about different things that I needed to speak about. And then one day he told me this really big idea, which I kind of figured was a given, but I was scared. He told me I need to share my testimony. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm almost 20 years old. I've shared my testimony before, but not this testimony in this manner. And it was scary for me because some people don't know my testimony. A lot of people know what happened in my life and why it helped me, but some people don't. And I was afraid of how they might look at me if they found out, how they might accept me if they understand where I've been. So I got a little apprehensive about it and kind of pushed it off, and he just kept pushing it in my mind. So I went and talked to Mandy, who you'll meet later, and I told her, I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I want to share my testimony yet. I don't know that I'm comfortable with that. I'm scared to do it. And she said, Maddie, you know, if God told you, that's what you need to do. She told me that his purpose is so much better than anything that I can think of, that if I do share my testimony, he's going to use it for great things. And I'm like, okay, all right, God, I get it. I'll tell him. So this is my first time ever telling my testimony in this kind of manner, but I'm just going to give it all out there and let God take it where it needs to go. Last year, in 2015, I was starting college. I was going down this path. I was ready to pursue my major and my dream of what I wanted to be when I grow up and all this stuff. And I met a guy, and I started dating him, and you know how that goes. He was, I did it in the wrong way. He just didn't go about it how I should have, and I hurt a lot of people and lost a lot of friends and mentors when I went into this relationship because they didn't support it and they didn't like how I got into the relationship. So I had already started off on a bad path in that manner, and I didn't care. I was upset that I hurt everyone, and I was upset that they were upset with me, but that didn't stop me from keep going where I was going. So I continued to date this guy, moved way too quickly with him, got way too attached with him very, very soon, ended up going a lot farther than I ever wanted to, than I ever should have, and regretted it, and I still regret that. And inevitably, we broke up. that's a whole nother sad sob story. That's for another time, not important at all. But upon that breakup, I was forced to deal with a lot of depression and anxiety and hatred and bitterness towards myself and everyone else, and got me put in counseling. My doctors noticed my anxiety was so bad that I needed to either take medicine for it or go to counseling. So my family decided that we should try counseling first before we tried to take medicinal steps. So I went to counseling, and you know, they helped me get a lot of my stuff out and put it into words and finally talk about it. And they told me to journal, which I do all the time. That's how I always have coped with things, even in the past before anything has happened to me. I have always done that. So I did that more, and they helped me cope with my anxiety and get my depression on a handle, and bring me back to somewhat more of myself. And you know, I'm sitting here and I'm better in everyone else's eyes. I'm back to my old self, um, as some would say, but I knew I wasn't the same. I didn't feel the same. I wasn't joyful. I wasn't excited about anything. And I got asked to work the Journey Walk that was coming up in the following months. And when she first asked me to work it, she was saying you need to be an assistant table leader, which if you don't know what that is, that's not relevant to this. But it's a point where I'm being as a mentor above these other people, and I'm helping these other people go through their journey. And I'm thinking, I'm not really in a place to do that, you know. I don't feel qualified at this point in my life. And God said, no, you need to do this for yourself and for them. And so I told her yes, I would work it, and prayed about it, and was nervous out my wits about it, and had a lot of friends working the walk with me. And when I got there, I found a lot of girls that I knew were going on the walk and going on the journey, and some people I didn't know. But God put me at a table with three great girls, who, none of which cry at all, and I am a huge crier, I found out recently. I cry all the time. It's really bad. If I cry, I'm so sorry. But he put me at the table with these girls, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm like, I feel like I'm not being able to give them anything. And a woman got up there, and one of my friends got up and gave this talk about the prodigal son, and talking about how there's two different sides of the story, whether you're the prodigal son that ran so far away and then came back to their dad, God, or whether you're the older son who's done everything he's always supposed to and then felt entitled and felt gypped when he didn't get the inheritance like his brother did. I found myself sobbing, sitting at this table with these girls. And I'm thinking, both. I've always been that magazine girl at my church and my life and my school, everything. People have always looked to me to be that perfect Christian, that girl that doesn't screw up, the girl that's involved in everything, who's super involved in her church, who's in places of authority at her church, who is in drama, who has competed in drama competitions, who has been a star cheerleader in high school. All of these things that I've always been known as that girl, that Christian, perfect girl. But I've also ran really far from God, and I've found myself in positions and places that I shouldn't have been, and I didn't want to be in, and I put myself in those compromising situations and couldn't get out of them. But I ran back home, eventually back to God, and especially that night, sitting at that table, hearing that talk, sobbing, saying, God, I need you. I'm tired of feeling this bitterness and this anger and feeling unloved and hated by everyone, and feeling like the woman in the Bible that was ostracized because of her disease. That's what I felt like all the time because of my mistakes. I feel ostracized from everyone. And a lot of people don't know that they had made me feel like that, and I don't hold that against them at all. I totally understand. We all do that. I've done that before. I've pushed people away, and it hurt a lot, and I didn't know how to deal with what I was feeling, and so I just cried out to God at that table, face down, tears streaming down my face, saying, God, I need you. And that's all I said. I need you, I need you, I need you. And he came right then, and he held me and picked me up and said, you're loved, you're beautiful, you're redeemed, you're forgiven. And those are words I hadn't heard in a very long time from anyone. And while there were people that tried to help me when I went through my stuff, I had my mentors and my parents and everybody that still loved me, and my family, all of them still loved me, of course, but they weren't telling me that I was forgiven and that I was redeemed. And hearing those words from my Lord and Savior hit me in a whole new way. And that weekend, I turned everything around, and I said, God, I need you every single day. I need you when I'm taking an exam that I feel like I can't pass. I need you when I'm teaching my little kids drama. I need you when I'm talking to teenagers and the youth about what they're going through, and talking to them, just trying to help them get through their day. And I need you when I go through my hardest stuff. I need you all the time. And he taught me that weekend that even though I've heard it my whole life, I'm redeemed. No matter where I've been, no matter what I've done, I'm redeemed because he loves me, because he loves me, because he loves me. 100% as I am, he loves me. In the midst of all of my dirt, he loved me. And I used to have this shirt on, you could say, like a theoretical shirt on, that said all of these hate words, like dirty, irrelevant, ugly, ashamed, guilty, all of these words that I was constantly swarming through my mind, thinking, this is what I am. I am so ashamed to be standing here in my church. I'm ashamed to be in front of my family. I'm ashamed to be my sister's role model. That I didn't think I was ever good enough. And God picked me up right there and said, you're always good enough. You're redeemed because you're mine. And that nothing you do could change that. No matter what I did, no matter how far I went with that guy, no matter how many people I turned my backs on, no matter how many words I said to those people that were being mean to me, no matter how much bitterness I had towards everyone, I was redeemed. I am redeemed. And so God really shook me. And that's when I got this idea. After praying about the name for this vlog, I was thinking, I don't know what to call this. I don't know what its purpose is really. And the words popped in my mind, beautifully redeemed. And I thought automatically, I love that. I love that name. Because everyone at some point in their life has messed up bad. Everyone has done something they shouldn't have done, and if you haven't, you probably will. And all of those people need to hear that they are beautifully redeemed. Every single one of you is beautifully redeemed. You're forgiven, you're loved, you're beautiful, you're blessed. God will never give up on you. He's always standing beside you. He'll never leave you. So, in this video blog, I'm just going to share my heart a couple times a month and just see where that goes. talk about different things that all of us face. Talk about the things I go through. Talk about the things my friends go through. I might have some people come in with me and talk with me in my video blogs about stuff that's going on or discussions we've had. And it's just going to be kind of random, at least right now. But I believe that God has a purpose for it, and it's my calling. It's in my heart to help teenage girls. Has been since I was 13 years old. When I was just a teenager, God said, you're going to help teenage girls. And when I was 13, I'm thinking, I'm only 13 years old. I'm barely a teenager myself. How am I going to help teenage girls? I don't understand. And now that I'm almost not a teenager at all anymore, it's falling into place, and more things are happening that God is saying, here's your opportunity, help them. Here's your opportunity, show them me. And this is my new opportunity. So I would love for you to watch my vlogs every week and definitely message me. Eventually you'll be able to send me letters, because that's my way of writing. That's my way of loving and showing my expression, is through letters and writing everything. So I will eventually have a way for you to send me letters rather than texting me or something like that. But if you know me personally, go ahead and shoot me a text, give me a call right now if you need help, if you need prayer, if you just need a listening ear. That's what I'm here for. And that's what God's called me to do at this point in my life. So I'm new to this. I don't know if you're new to this, but we're going to take this journey together and see where God leads us and see what He has in store for all of our futures. And just to be constantly reminded that we are women that are beautifully redeemed. Super excited about this. Thank you for hearing me out and listening to my heart today. Yeah, thank you. I will see you all later. Bye.